By the end of this video, Winston will tell you whether it's too late to buy Nvidia stock or if the 1 to 10 stock split is just the moment to buy now. And just in case you've been living under a rock, Nvidia is the company selling computer chips, picks and shovels basically in this AI gold rush that has captured the imagination of the market. The stock is up a whopping 150% year to date. And it's now valued at $3 trillion. It's the second largest company on earth just after Microsoft, neck and neck with Apple, depending on the market moves that day. It's, just to give you some perspective, bigger than Tesla and Amazon combined. And this enormous rise in the share price has prompted Nvidia to announce a 10-to-1 stock split this Monday. And that will decrease the price of their shares. It'll make them more attractive to retail investors who maybe don't have $1,000 plus to fork out for one share. And after the split, Nvidia will basically have 10 times as many shares at a tenth of the share price. So if you hold one Nvidia share, they will give you 9 extra shares for free. Bankers can't count. And you will then end up with 10 shares. That's basically the way that works. And if you look at analysts like Dan Ives, he says, we believe Nvidia will be a $4 trillion market cap company, and this is just the beginning. And, well, that's a 30% rally from here. Now, some analysts are predicting a much, much bigger surge, like another 230% rally from here, and that Nvidia will be a $10 trillion market cap, like more than 3 times the size of an Apple or a Microsoft. Now, it's actually not that hard to see why they say that. If you just look at the numbers in May's earnings report, well, they are absolutely unprecedented. There has never, ever been a company that has done this. And when I first read them, I was like, did they add a 0 or something? Is there a typo in here? In the single year, in 1 year, they've increased their profits from 2 billion to 15 billion. That's a 628% increase. And revenue increased 260% to 26 billion. Why? Because everybody's basically scrambling to get their hands on Nvidia chips to power their latest AI co-pilot and whatever it might be. And if you look at the chart, and I'll pop it on the screen here for you, editor, please, the last quarter's earnings, you can see the green part at the top, but just how much of the revenue. So on the left-hand side, you see the revenue. And on the right-hand side, the red bits are expenses. The green bits are net income, real profit. Look just how much ends up as net profit. That's staggering. Now, such massive numbers, of course, also prompting calls that it's a bubble. And is it Cisco? Is it Cisco of 1999? I worked on a .com company in 1999. I remember when the CEO and founder walked onto the floor and said, guys, we're out of money. Literally, the private equity company that backed the business had said no more. And if you go back to 1999, where everybody said everything is going to go up forever, well, Cisco was basically selling sort of internet infrastructure, and they then crashed 90%. Now, why did they crash so badly? Cisco is still around, right? Well, they were selling mostly, or a lot at least, to startups. And those startups all went bust, much like the one that I was working in. Now, Nvidia is selling mostly its chips to companies like Meta and Amazon and Microsoft and Tesla who can't actually pay for it. There are some smaller outlets that Nvidia partially funds and so on, which could be a little bit dodgy, but the vast majority of their clients are very large. There are a few signs, though, that Nvidia's momentum might be running out of steam. 336 hedge funds reduced their holdings in Nvidia last quarter. And insiders are selling. Look at this Bloomberg headline here. Panic, panic. But wait, if we actually take a proper look at the data, insider sales are not much elevated from the 2019 levels. So yeah, they're selling, but it's kind of normal. That's how people get paid. People tend to show up to work because they want to get paid. So they will sell some of their shares because they want to de-risk. They want to buy a house, Ferrari, yacht, second private jet. There are some real needs that employees have at Nvidia. But is there really something to the momentum slowing story? Well, there's one thing we can look at, and that is live dark pool trades. Dark pool are exchanges where the big institutional investors trade, so you and I don't see the trades. Now, we actually have access to that. If you go into optionswatch.io, you can get a 3-month trial. You can play with it. It's completely risk-free. Type Nvidia into the search box on the Smart tabs here on the right. And then sort by the largest trades. You can also filter a bit. I'm just clicking on descending, so I see, so that again. Yeah, so I can see just the largest trades. And look at those, 158 million, 32 million, 32 million, 28 million, 20 million. I mean, these are institutions, right? You can see that. It's not your neighbor. It's not even, the kitty chap. And what do you see? Bearish, 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 bearish. And you scroll down and it's all bearish. They are all bearish trades, every last one of them, of these millions and millions of dollars. Well, there's one, but it's very, very bearish. And I can keep scrolling and it'll keep showing you bearish trades. So what does that mean? It means people are taking profits. Very, very simple. So there's definitely profit taking going on Wall Street, and that will slow down the rally a little bit. But personally, I think Winston's wrong. Did I say he was wrong? Did I say he was right? I'm not sure. The party, I think, is going to keep going, and I'll show you why. There is one very good reason that makes me bullish on Nvidia, with a bit of a cautionary tale on momentum, right? Look at the chart I'm popping on the screen here. Earnings per share forecast. Why do we care? Well, the number everybody looks at is PE, right? So if 2025 PE now, let me get a pen you can actually see. Microsoft, please. 2025 PE at the moment is 44 times. Now, PE is what? Is price divided by earnings, which is a fancy word for profits. So what happens over time? Say you were to buy the stock today. Well, price would be fixed, right? At whatever it is today, 120 bucks or something. Earnings, well, they can continue to go up. And if Nvidia grows by 30% in 2026, your PE will drop to 34. And if in 2027 it grows by just 16% because the party's over, I think it could keep growing at higher levels, by the way. I actually strongly believe that. Then it'll be 29. And then in 2028, say it grows at 26% again, still not particularly wonderful compared to the 125% we're expecting for 2025. Now your PE is 23. Why do we care? What's with the numbers? Well, look at the current PE ratio of the whole IT sector. At the moment, it's 33. So good companies right now tend to trade sort of 20 to 30 plus multiples. And good companies, really good companies, get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper every year you hold on to them because they keep generating growth in profits, more profits than last year, and therefore their multiples keep getting down and down and down. So if you have a long-term horizon, I think there's nothing wrong with buying Nvidia. It's of course not financial advice, just an old banker and his golden retriever sharing their wisdom and insight. But before you go out and buy the now cheaper Nvidia post-split, because it looks like it's cheaper, right? It's a tenth of the price. But it isn't really that, of course. It's just you're getting a tenth of the company. You got to ask yourself, are you buying it because you really understand the business and you really understand what's happening in AI chips? Or are you buying it out of just FOMO? Because it's going up and everyone's talking about it, right? Timing the pop of a bubble is impossible. And there's a saying on Wall Street, no one rings the bell at the top. So basically what I would say is enjoy the party, keep dancing, just don't get caught with your trousers down when the momentum properly stops. And one thing you can do is watch the actual momentum in the dark pool trades on optionswatch.io. That's a great tool. And secondly, like, learn how to hedge. Seriously, learn how to hedge. I've got a video out on that. If you want to learn how to protect your portfolio, how to protect your Nvidia position for free, watch that next video and you'll be much, much wiser and much, much safer. I love you for watching. See you on the next one. Felix here, and Tallulah, my trusted financial advisor, and we're going to teach you how to never lose money again. And no, that's not some sort of scam or a con or an overpromise. It's actually possible.